today's episode, I'm going to be reviewing the 2000 film Bless the Child. Welcome back, everybody, to my April's Easter egg hunt movie review series. In case you haven't heard of it, you've probably actually seen the poster somewhere. I know I've seen the poster before, I just never watched the movie. It's about Cody, a little girl abandoned by her mother and raised by her aunt, a nurse, is kidnapped. Then the girl's guardian, the aunt, aided by an FBI agent, learn that Cody has supernatural abilities and that the abductees are a satanic cult willing to do anything to gain them. Overall, I was very impressed by the film, so I got a lot of positive things to say about the film. The opening credits sequence is interesting and is beautifully shot. Now, I don't remember exactly because it's been a few days since I've seen the movie. My memory's not 100% on that, so I won't get into what actually in it. The movie was well lit, well written. The cinematography is good. The mystery and lore of the film is very well incorporated within the story. The lore, in turn, actually creates an interesting narrative that would be comparable to Resurrection, which is kind of why in the review for Resurrection I said they could be, you could watch them on a double feature, like companion type movies, where this one delves more into like the horror aspect and the more genuinely terrifying aspect of the story and the lore. Resurrection was more of like a detective cop film with some horror elements sprinkled in. This one was very much a horror film with everything else just kind of sprinkled in. I was very impressed with that. The special effects are well utilized to serve the story. It's used very sparingly, but when they do show it, it actually looks somewhat believable. I think it was CG. Now that I think of it, there's a little bit of CG in it, and you can tell it's CG. At the same time, it actually works well in the film, similar to how the CG was in the Chinese film I reviewed, Keeper of Darkness. The editing is perfect for this film and it creates a great pace for the film. There is a time jump, but I think the time jump is from the opening, like prior to the opening credit sequence. I think, now that I think of it, I think the opening credit sequence was more of, the way that it was shot was very unique, creative. It reminded me of the Creepshow TV show intro, where the camera is going around the creep, and I guess in turn you could also say kind of similar to the Daredevil intro for the Netflix Marvel show, except in this case it was a gargoyle. The gargoyle is actually outside of the main character's apartment on top of a building, I can't remember, but there is a gargoyle outside the main character's apartment. Not sure if it's the same one, but just the way that they did that and then transitioned into the skyline and then they cut, it just worked so well, and it blended, like the transitions blended so well. It gets more intense as the film goes on, which was something that really surprised me. It kind of was terrifying a little bit, like the movie goes on, there's like these terrifying moments. It's well acted, chemistry is believable between all the characters. I highly recommend you check out the movie if you can. I saw it on Amazon Prime. Not sure if it's available in your region. Check it out if you can. If I had to give it a rating, I'd probably give it a 9. As far as I know, I had no issues. Maybe if they heighten the terrifying aspects, improved upon the CG, just little nitpicky things, it'd probably be a much higher rating. A 9 is perfectly fine. If you like this review, be sure to give it a like and a subscribe. If you're new, stay tuned for the rest of them. Now, the next ones I believe are when they start to get weird. And I mean really weird. The next one is when they start going over that line. Stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next ones.